What a horrible ratio of waiting
it's
to...
It's great, and it was a horrible day because everything went wrong. Traffic stuck, then late airplanes and so on.
Oh, shit. Well, here we are.
But here we are. So that's very cool.
Good.
Please show me the last 3 minutes, okay? Thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure.
What I really enjoy at this movie and in the story is the role of Perry, because he's a regular guy, but he helps Dima and shows such a lot of courage and honor and integrity. So how far would you go in this kind of situation?
The only thing I have to sort of compare this with is an experience I had in 2004. I made a motorcycle journey from London round to New York, going east. And when we crossed the Ukraine, my friend Charlie and I ended up in a mafia house by accident. And this gentleman welcomed us into his house, and he said we should stay the night, and he put on a feast for us. But we didn't realize at first that he was probably in the mafia until his friends started arriving, and every time they came in, they would take off their weapons and they'd leave them by the door. And they were making mafia jokes, and we realized where we were. And so I have a similar situation with that man, in that he was very charismatic. And although I wouldn't condone any of the work that he does or the kind of life that he leads, I wouldn't be someone I would want to hang out with. There was something about him that I liked, and he was a very masculine, I suppose, attractive character. And I think if he'd asked me, if he'd said, my family are in trouble, you know, I met his wife and his daughter, this man, he said, if they're going to be killed unless you give this to the British Secret Service, and I would have done it, I'm sure.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a cool story, and it's true.
And it's a true story, yeah. But he didn't ask me to do that, but I would have done.
Really cool. So you started on Broadway. What attracts you more now? Theater or making a movie?
Well, I've always done theatre since I started. I mean, I trained in theatre a year in Scotland and 3 years in London. And I ended up going into film because that's the direction I wanted to take. But I always go back to the theatre, and I have done. I've made a play every 4 or 5 years. I'll do a play if I can, and I love it. I love the routine of the theatre. I think we learn as actors, we learn our trade better in the theatre than we do in front of a camera. The audience, every performance teach you what works and what doesn't work, and being attuned with them and serving the play, making the play work in front of a live audience is truly the skill of the actor. So I think we take that skill that we learn on stage in front of the camera, and so I think it informs the work that I do, and I like working on the stage. So it's something I'll always go back to.
Is there a specific animal that you want to maybe do a movie with, like some exotic things, like a tiger or a lion?
I made a film with elephants and the big fish. We had I think I worked with all of those animals on Big Fish with Tim Burton. We had a lion and tigers and elephants. Yeah, it was fun. I like working with animals, yeah. And
is there one that you would pick if you can choose again?
Not really, I don't think so. I don't know, it would depend on the story, you know, yeah.
Okay, cool. And this kind of spy stories reminds me so much at the movies of the 80s, which I really enjoy.
Yes.
What do you think about?
Yes, I liked it too. I think there's a sort of modern slant to this story. I think there's something modern about it. Maybe the Le Carré thriller has so many details in it. I think it lends itself to any age. It doesn't remind me of a film from the past, not necessarily.